Hey guys, we're flipping the script here. No sponsors, just a single request. It's you who powers our mission. Join us in empowering founders, business leaders, and entrepreneurs to build great businesses, increase their income and provide sufficient for their families and make a difference in the world. A single ask I have of you, please review and share this podcast. 1 minute of your time could make a difference to a fellow entrepreneur's life. So please review this podcast. And number 7 is, and my dad did this well, is live, love, and laugh. Hey, beautiful Contractors Chronicles community, what's up? It's just awesome to be here with you guys again on your weekly podcast. And I know I've had a couple of messages from people asking where the last 2 weeks' podcast was, and here I am back, and I'm going to give it my attempt to be more consistent in the near future. So, not that I want to make excuses, I just felt like I need to share with my community. I've gone through a rough patch in the last 2 weeks. I lost my very dear daddy, my mentor, my business mentor, my life mentor, my best friend, someone who deeply loved me unconditionally. It wasn't easy, it was really challenging, and I decided to ask myself how this week's podcast how can I project myself in such a way that it comes from the heart, that I can resonate with anyone going forward. And is there any learning over the last couple of weeks going through this whole process? And yes, absolutely, deeply reflecting there was. So maybe just to give some context, I was deeply reflecting. I went on holiday recently. I made some notes. So I'm going to refer to it as I go. We went on holiday in our beautiful country of South Africa, and we spent December. Just before December, I went to my dad. He was in a dementia clinic, suffering from an incredibly difficult disease. For anyone who knows, or has a family member that goes through it, or anyone close that they love, it is heart-wrenching to see someone's mental state of being decline until they get to the level where their organs shut down. I went to my dad and I said to him just before I left, I just managed to squeeze that last visit in. I said, Dad, I'm going on my holiday. Please bear with me. I'll be back after the holiday. And I came back on the 5th of January, which is his birthday. On the 6th, I went to see him and really spent some time with him. And I realized he had that glazed look on his face. There was a big difference already in his attitude. I realized he was checking out of the world. He saw me shed a couple of tears, and he looked at me with love, but just couldn't express anything. And it was just so heartbreaking. I knew at that time something's going on. And it was 6 days later that this poor man passed away. This was probably one of the toughest emotional 2 weeks of my life, reflecting back. As I said, he was my best friend, so just really come to terms that it's been a process. But the incident made me deeply reflect and how important life is, and how important it is that we celebrate life. Life is short, what are we doing about living with loved ones? I mean, we're building these massive businesses. In the journey, are we forgetting our friends? Are we forgetting our family? Fortunately, I've had the privilege to spend an incredible amount of quality time with him. And I think I had time to mourn his death. So for me, I'm probably grateful that he's gone because he's not suffering. So for me, it's a great feeling. But it's so tough, guys. It's really tough. I've got a growing business. My business needs me, and I'm going through this process. Now, just don't get me wrong. I'm not looking for sympathy at all. I'm merely stating a fact. And the fact being this is how we're building our businesses. We're going to go through adversity while growing our businesses. Any entrepreneur goes through adversity while building businesses. May it be losing a family member, may it be financial, may it be health. Are you building your business with that in mind? And, if you've got a very demanding job that needs you in the business all the time, and you need to deliver on mark, and you're not happy in this business, it may be a career or your own entrepreneurial venture, it must be hell on earth to be trapped in a prison like that, because the last couple of weeks I've been free to spend time with my dad. My team picked up. They managed the business without me. In fact, they did well without me. I'm questioning why I'm even there sometimes. So I get a sense of I'm doing something right. And I want to share with you some of the seven. I've got some pillars that I lean on, and I call them the 7 pillars, because I realize, being an entrepreneur, it can be a lonely journey. And to be on a lonely journey and to go through the adversity or hit a pothole or a speed wobble and having to deal with this process can be very challenging. The show must go on, guys. The show must go on. So I want to stress what's worked for me, and it's these 7 pillars, and I'd like to hear what you have to say about them, contribute, and if any one of these resonate with you. But number one, who are you surrounding yourself with? On the day of my dad's funeral, we expected 50, 60 people to arrive at the funeral. And to my utmost surprise, we had close to 100 people arrive. And there were people that still emailed me and WhatsApped me after saying, please, why didn't you let me know that, your dad's funeral was at this specific time? Because what I realized out of it wasn't really that the people came for him. The people came for me and for my family. They came to support us. So the relationships that we build, we're in a community, and we forget that sometimes. We want to live a private life, and we want to be on our own. We want to live on this little house somewhere in the far distance where there are no people. Guys, we need to relook at that. We need to build relationships with people that deeply care, people that we can live a long life with, because it's through people that we reflect, and it's through people that we grow. We can't sit there on our own in a little prairie and expect to grow. That's not going to happen. And say, oh, I wish I grow self-development wise. You only grow on self-development. Yes, you can read a book, but you're not going to grow to the extent. It's not what you read, it's how you implement it. And it's how you interact, it's the feedback you get from people. That's so crucial. And I've realized that throughout this journey. I realized that all these people came to the funeral. They were there for me. And the genuine caringness, love, tears, the hugs, the heart that I got from these people, and still get today, more than a week later, it's been an eye-opener for me. It's made me realize that I never, ever want to step away from the community that I've built, the friends that I've built. I want to build deeper and richer relationships. Number 2, you got to set boundaries, man. Life is challenging as it is, and you have to suck things up from people, maybe a family member that's just does a little bit off the beaten track or off cuff, or someone who doesn't share the same values with you, might be a friend or a team member, and you have to sit with us the whole time. Yeah, you're going to have to suck it up sometimes during normal life. But when you're going through adversity, man, you don't want to deal with these people. You don't deal with that negative energy. You need to have those boundaries. You might as well practice those boundaries while things are cool. You might as well practice those boundaries when life is actually dandy. So this is my take, is when life is dope, start setting boundaries with people that don't give you energy, like an axis. You're looking at an axis. You want energy and you want time. As time goes by, you want to be able to spend time with people that are going to give you more energy in that area, in that quadrant. So who are those people along that energy axis that you've identified, that you can say, these are the people that I need to invest in? Like you do in a stock, you need to invest in these people. But you also need to set boundaries. So that was number 2. Number 3, do you embrace reciprocity? Now, what I mean by that, reciprocity means giving without return. In my case, a very strong learning that hit home when I lost my dad. I realized, what did my dad stand for? What was his number one value? And what did he teach me? And what did he teach my kids and the grandkids? And I can tell you now, without a level of doubt, he has taught me to love. Well, and I say I must be careful because I am not at his level yet. He's mastered it, my dad. He loved without expecting in return. That's quite big. And reciprocity is about that. It's about giving without expecting in return. That's huge because we've become a very selfish world. You know, the universe is, unfortunately, we've geared ourselves around take, and being selfish all the time. So no, it's about give, and then receiving. Give, and then receiving. And I find that you get those kind of people that care for you genuinely if you give. So this community is about giving. This podcast is about giving. It's about helping entrepreneurs growth. In my business, my life mission, this goes into the next one, is what is your mission? Number 4 is what is my mission? My mission is to leave this world a better place. So when I exit this world, I want to know I've left this place in a better place than it was than when I was in it. For my kids, for my grandkids, and for their grandkids, is to have that long-term approach. Did I make that difference in the world? Am I making that difference in the world? So someone said it quite nicely recently. They said, I actually wrote out my eulogy and, what was my legacy? So what is your eulogy? What is my eulogy? What am I standing for in life? I mean, my dad had an incredible eulogy. Rich, guys, rich. It's rich, and it impacts the family. And if it impacts the family, that's what I stand for. It's very high on my value, on my totem pole, like I call it, is my family. Is how is my legacy going to impact my family and my community, those areas. Number 5, do you have a growth mindset? A growth mindset allows you to say, hold on a second, sometimes I do need to take a step backwards, take a step forward. A growth mindset allows you to embrace the fact that you're going to have 2 steps back before you have 6 steps forward. And at the moment, I've taken a couple of steps back, but I'm feeling myself grow towards a new future for myself. The deep reflection about my dad's values and what he's left has changed me as a human being. I almost needed him to go for me to realize it. He's handed over a torch to me, a flame for me to carry on to the next step. He's given it to me. It's my promise to him that I carry this flag. I mean, I've got big shoes to fill, but I need to do that. And having a growth mindset allows me to do that and to recover quickly when you go through adversity. A growth mindset says to you, so take 2 steps back, but I know there's going to be 4 steps forward again. And it's okay to take 2 steps back, as long as we know that we've got the growth mindset and we are going to move our way forward. We're not going to go and climb into a hole and stay there and start neglecting our health, neglecting our relationship, go drinking in the pubs, hang around with bad people that are going to influence us negatively. Number 6, do you have a crystal clear vision for where your life, your 5 areas in your life should be? And listen to my other podcasts when I talk about the 5 areas that we need to concentrate on in our lives. So that's what I've done. I've concentrated on 5 areas in my life. And in general, where are you going in your life? Is it clear? Your health, your relationships, your finances, your spiritual side, etc. And also your business. Do you have a clear vision of what your business must look like? Mine's a 3-year vision. It's very clear. Does your team, that's the litmus test. If you run it by your team and you say to your team, guys, listen, where is Lab of Companies going in the next 3 years? They need to be able to say it verbatim. So I've written a lab manifesto. For those who are interested, comment below and I'll send you my draft document of the lab manifesto, give you an idea of how you can formulate a 3-year vision for your business that will absolutely rock your business and motivate your people and motivate you as an entrepreneur. And number 7 is, and my dad did this well, is live, love, and laugh. And when I say live, he taught me to grow businesses that can work without you. He wasn't the tradition. I come from a Greek background. And in our culture, growing up, I remember a lot of the Greek people that I met said, no, you got to stand behind the counter. You got to work your till. You're the only one that can count your cash. We were in retail, bottle stores, and supermarkets, etc. And my dad just wasn't like that. He says, "No, I don't want that life for you, son. I want you to live your life. I want you to go skiing. I want you to experience what it's like to, um, take time off, invest in yourself, go on seminars, go on workshops." I remember doing a Dale Carnegie course at the ripe age of about 12 or 13 years old. I was the youngest person there. There were lawyers, dentists, business owners in the room. My dad exposed me to that from a young age. He wanted me to learn the concept of, if you're going to grow a Pick and Pay, you don't have all these Pick and Pays running with the late Ackerman sitting behind each till. It's not going to happen. He's managed to grow a business that works without him. And that late Raymond Ackerman did a great job with all these supermarkets that he grew to work there. And there's many examples of that. But there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are stuck. They are stuck in the sense that they are the business, and if they're not there, the business suffers, and they've got to be there counting cash. They don't get to see their family. They don't get to build relationships with their spouse and their children. They don't get to build experiences. And when the kids leave school, it's just too late. And I mean, you've seen it over and over. No dead man in his dying moments will ever say that I wish I spent more time at work. It's bizarre. It doesn't happen. I wish I spent more time with my family. I wish I had rich experiences with my children. So he taught me to live. He taught me to love. And love is important. It's these soft skills. Love is important because he loved me unconditionally. And he also said, if a child is going through a hard time, may it be drugs or just schooling or just adolescent crisis or whatever it might be, give them love. Love is the best medicine you can give them, not a psychologist or a book. Love. Can they feel your love? Can they genuinely feel it? Just make sure that they are loved. So, very important. And then the third element is laugh. He was the pinnacle of humor in our community, often known to pull pranks on people and have a good laugh. I mean, I've just realized that I need to develop my sense of humor more. I want to go to some more comedy clubs. I want to be able to see the lighter side to things, not always the serious side of things. I want to be able to watch more rom-coms and not only documentaries, etc. I want to be able to do that. So yeah, he's left that with me, and I think that's important. So those are my 7 pillars that I lean on, that pulls me out of a crisis, or can pull me out of adversity quicker if I have those principles behind me. I find if I don't have those principles behind me, I'm lost. So I lean on them more. I dig deep. I reflect on them every morning. I ask myself, how close am I to achieving whatever I want to do in these 7 pillars? I rate myself on each of them quite regularly. May it just be on a run on the treadmill. So, Contractors Chronicles, that's a wrap for this week. Look forward to my next week's podcast. Got some interesting stuff happening. I'm going to be sharing some insights of, where my business is at, the new ventures we're in, how we're growing it. And we'd like to spice it up with a couple of interviews as well, but that'll be coming soon. But this is essentially a community that I've created to make an impact on entrepreneurs by sharing my story. And it is my story. These are, at the moment, on my insights, and they work for me. So I'm hoping to resonate with those entrepreneurs that are wanting to learn from others, maybe not gurus, but want to learn from entrepreneurs that have, when I say gurus, self-proclaimed gurus, there's plenty of them out there. Essentially, you want to learn from entrepreneurs that are walking their talk, and learning from their journey. Because I wish someone did it for me, but not someone who's sitting in the heart of some American city, maybe California or Las Vegas, and they're sharing their insights. Yes, we might learn a lot from them, but it's not real enough for me. I've been down that journey for many years. I've probably followed every single one of them from Frank Kern to Brendan Burchard. Um, and I'm saying that some, with all respect, some of them are great, but just some of them just they're not real, man. And this is all about creating a community of like-minded people that want to resonate with where I'm going and my life journey and business journey. So, guys, if you like this podcast, please hit the subscribe button, share it with like-minded entrepreneurs, and do me a favor, just hit the review button, because I listen to podcasts when people review. If it's 5 star, that's a bonus for me. I'm in. So, guys, I've got nothing to sell. I want to share this with you guys. I'll see you next week, and I can't wait to just grow this community with you.